for in this beat. Yes, it go way beyond burgers. Hope will go way beyond searching. Erudition take you beyond learning. Education keep your heart yearning. It's so born.
So are there any detriments to being stateless?
Yes.
Yes.
Islam.
Yep.
So there are detriments to being stateless, okay? And in the previous video, it mentioned that states, okay, when they mention states, they're talking about nation states, not corporate states. They are required, okay? You look up what required means in law. Required just means to simply look into. That doesn't mean that they have to take action, okay? That's the big difference. So let's look at what the United Nations say as far as the quote unquote consequences of being stateless.
Being stateless means having less or no access to rights, freedoms, and choices. One of the most limiting consequences of statelessness is not having freedom of movement. Many stateless people are prevented from travelling freely within their country of residence. They are often confined to a limited space to live, work, and exercise other rights. Stateless people usually also face severe restrictions to cross borders and to travel to other countries. Without identity documents, they cannot obtain a visa or fulfill other obligations to travel to other countries, to work, visit family and friends, or travel for other reasons. Crossing a border may bring risks of arrest or detention. Stateless people are also often prevented from owning property. Without a nationality, they cannot buy a house or land. In some cases, there are also restrictions on inheritance. Children of stateless people may be deprived of their parents' estate if they pass away. Stateless people face severe problems in accessing essential financial rights. Most banks will refuse to open an account, let alone provide services like loans and credit cards without proof of identity. And can stateless people even earn money? In most countries, finding legal employment is virtually impossible if you are a national of no state. Because of this, stateless people are often pushed into irregular labour markets without legal and social protection, putting them at risk of abuse. Getting married as a stateless person is impossible in most cases. Statelessness can also echo across generations, affecting families and their descendants. Due to their parents' status, children can be born into statelessness and risk remaining that way for the rest of their lives, unless the state ensures that these children can acquire a nationality. Stateless children and young people may also be unable to get an education because they cannot be enrolled in schools or universities or take exams. Psychologically, statelessness can be a heavy burden. Stateless people often have feelings of being excluded from communities and of not belonging anywhere. On a wider level, countries and communities hosting a stateless population may miss opportunities for development and growth, and their presence can also cause civil unrest, demonstrations, and lead to forced migration. This shows how important it is for states to take measures to avoid statelessness and to grant people a nationality.
Okay. Any thoughts on this video?
Islam.
Islam.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mother. Go ahead, Mother. Okay.
Mhm.
Islam, I was just
Yes,
going to say,
Islam.
this highlights how much what we think is normal is actually not normal. Like what we're used to thinking that, you know, on our estate, we can't travel to the islands or come to the north or go whichever.
Mhm.
And all, like everything that was highlighted in that, we actually have been at some point in our lives thought that that was normal. But this really highlights how not normal it is. Islam.
Islam. Exactly.
Islam.
Mhm.
Islam. Because I was thinking exactly, Mother Brandi, I was thinking exactly what Empress Amara was thinking. Like, for you just to travel to so-called Canada or go to Mexico or things that you just think is normal and you're just doing as a part of society, like ha la la, even as your driver's license, as you're traveling on the road, you're thinking that these are things that are you're supposed to or have to do. But as a stateless person, you do because you're their property, basically. Like it just really outline like you're their property and tell you what you can and can't